Hey everybody, welcome back to the JK Man podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about some food preferences that may have changed over the years. Like for instance, growing up, there were always certain foods that I hated, like tomatoes, onions, sauerkraut, brats, just a number of different things cuz as you grow up, you think things taste gross and then maybe later on you give it another chance. You might like it, you might not. Like for me, I just never liked the flavor of brats, I guess, and also just the texture. But after a few years, I mean, there was one minor setback where I was at a party of some sort, and for some reason, I'm the type of person that when I'm eating something, I need to have a drink because otherwise, it's like my throat is constantly dry. Otherwise, I'll choke a little bit. So I was trying to give it a shot. So I gave a couple bites to a brat. I took my time chewing. I guess it wasn't enough. I go to take a drink because I started choking. Nothing went down, but it all came back out. Blue Gatorade and all. So it kind of turned me away from brats once again. And then as far as like sauerkraut, I just didn't like the bitterness to it, let alone the fucking smell. And then years later with the brats, I tried them here and there. It depends on which flavor because there's so many out there today, such as like the beer brats. Then you got like wild rice, which today I fucking love those. They almost like some people they'll put like mustard and relish and shit on top of the brats. I'll just put like mustard on them and maybe some onions and stuff. The wild rice almost doesn't need anything at all. It's just that flavorful by itself. But then there's like bacon infused, cheese infused. Then as far as sauerkraut goes, I mean it's still a little bitter, but I actually love eating it now. Not by the spoonfuls, of course, but it just sometimes your taste buds change, whether it be minor things or like major things. And for me, all those foods that I used to hate growing up, not all, but a good chunk of them, you learn to actually like after time. Like with tomatoes, I do like eating them, but they still have to be on something like a salad, a burger, and so on. Now, I can't be like some people out there where they just like bite into it like an apple. To me, that's just too much tomato taste. Just like there are some people out there that can bite into an onion like an apple. For me, onions have to be mixed into or on top of something. I can't just eat it raw. The onion taste is just overwhelming. Not to mention, just like when cutting them, you try to eat the raw onion, then you accidentally touch your face, and all of a sudden now you're stinging because the onions they got that shit in them that makes it burn. Then you get like other foods it's not necessarily a flavor, it's more of a texture thing. Like with olives, I don't mind the flavor, it's just the texture. It's for me like the mixture of a rotting grape mixed with a mushroom, and I absolutely fucking hate mushrooms. I mean, if they're mixed into a food well enough to where you can't really notice they're there, that's one thing. But if I can visibly see them, it's not like it. Well, it's partially mental, but most of it is just like a texture and taste thing. Because there was one time at a buffet where they had, I think, caramelized mushrooms, and that day they were cooked right and they actually tasted decent. But any other time I've had mushrooms, doesn't matter if they're diced up, sliced up, on a salad, on a burger, in some sauce. To me, I just don't like the taste of it. Or another one that I still can't stand to this day would probably be Brussels sprouts. I know some people go, oh, you gotta butter them and then like fry them, or you gotta do or stick them in the oven. I mean, it's not too much different in my opinion from asparagus, but at least with asparagus, if you cook it just the right way and then put like the right seasonings and butter or whatever, they actually do taste pretty well. For me, Brussels sprouts is just a little bit too much. Like, I also used to hate broccoli. I used to hate cauliflower and celery. Now, I can eat all those raw, or how we used to, or most of us anyway, as kids, where smothered in cheese. Oh, I could go for some cheesy broccoli or some cheesy cauliflower right now. Otherwise, with celery, like most kids, I was always doing like ants on a log, minus the ants, so just peanut butter, which kind of helped, but over time, you actually kind of enjoy, well, some people enjoy the flavor, like the natural juices from the celery or even though broccoli and cauliflower are kind of dry as shit, they're their own flavors. Like cauliflower has a weird texture to it when you bite into it, but it's not that bad to me anymore. But then you also get some foods that you used to like, but now you can't stand. Like when I was growing up, I always had like bologna sandwiches and what else did I put down here? Where'd you go, you little shit? Oh yeah, pickles and sweet potatoes. Like for me, sweet potatoes, it's a little bit of the texture thing, but to me, I know it's in the name, but sweet potatoes are just too sweet. I've even had them as the sweet potato fries, and it's alright if you douse them in ketchup, but you can only handle so much ketchup before you get sick of it. And for me, I'd have to basically encase the whole thing in ketchup just to enjoy them now. That's why I hated when they still do. The family makes sweet potatoes or yams for Christmas or Thanksgiving dinners. Only like 2 or 3 people out of all of us actually enjoy that shit. So it's kind of a waste of money. That's why they only get like 1 can now. Just like another one that I used to love was the pickles. I used to be able to sit there with a jar but not enough to where you drink the fucking juice. I know some people enjoy it. To me, it just... And now, if I do have a pickle, it's got to be me in a very selective mood, or it's got to be like on a burger, or me and my oldest brother went to the store one time. It's actually not that bad. They have like a dill pickle infused mustard. That's fucking delicious. And as years go by, just like eating pickles straight out of the jar, like some restaurants where they give you a wedge of a pickle on the plate, I usually end up handing them to somebody else because the flavor itself just kind of goes meh in your mouth. It just got to be the right moment, or you just got to feel like, you know what, maybe I want a couple of pickles today. I think what partially ruined that for me, it was even though they tasted good at the time, trying some things like pickled eggs, and then you got pickled red horse, or you got I think some other kind of, I think it was a pickled pig's feet or some shit, I don't remember. Just from all those different variations, it just throws off the flavor to where you're like, you know what? I don't like this shit anymore. And then another big one was pizza. I used to love pizza growing up. Actually, up until within the last year. But I think I used to work for a brewery for a short time, working in the kitchen, where even though the dough was pre-made, essentially you built the pizza from scratch. They had a pizza sauce that they added stuff to that actually tasted really delicious. It was on a sprent grain crust made from the shit that they actually used to make the beer, which actually tasted delicious after it was cooked. And then you get all the fresh ingredients, the fresh cheese. Then it comes out, and not only do you feel satisfied that you made this and it looks good, it tastes even better. I think for some reason after that, just like I've tried numerous brands too, even the ones I loved over the last how many years, store-bought pizza for me doesn't taste good anymore. So now if I want pizza in the future, I'm probably going to have to try to make it at home just like I did at the brewery, because I don't know if it's because of the fresh ingredients to processed, or if it's the difference in the sauce, or just the quality of the pizza. It's just, I used to always eat like DiGiorno or Lazza Mazza or one of those out there. My brother even tried recommending a pizza that he gets from the Menard store sometimes. He says it's delicious. So I cooked it up for me and my son the other week, and I gave him 4, I gave myself 4. I go, well, let's see how this turns out. So he gets the, oh, this is really good. I had to force myself to try to eat those 4 pieces because the flavor and then a little bit of the texture just completely destroyed the taste in my mouth, where I'm like, I'm almost half tempted to cook something else because this is not doing it for me. It's not that it's horrible. It's just I don't like the taste of store-bought pizzas anymore. And I didn't even finish my last slice. I ended up giving it to my dog. But other than that, I'm not quite sure why that's changed. It just kind of sucks because just like going to school, you get those rectangle pizzas. Those are fucking delicious. I obviously haven't had one because I haven't been in school since 2016, but it makes me wonder if that tastes different now too, or if it's just like the store-bought shit like Jack's and all the other ones out there. Then there's other items I've had over the years that were delicious and then for some reason turned to shit. Like I used to really enjoy eating all sorts of different fruits. Love strawberries, watermelons, blueberries, you name it. Over the time, I don't know if I just got like a bad one or what, but after like say the age of 8 or so, I don't know what it is, but like honeydews, muskmelons and shit, they just don't taste good to me anymore. It's like the flavor profile just fucks with everything, and you're like, ugh, I like tartness, I like sweetness, but neither one of these tastes right. So that's why whenever you'd get like mixed fruit or some shit from the school lunches, or something at a hospital or whatever, I always end up setting those melons aside. I just don't fucking like them. But then there's also some foods that I wanted to try because I've had things that tasted like them. You know, like so you get like those Velo or one of the other nicotine pouches that's got flavor in them. I had one. It tasted delicious. I used to get it on a regular. It was dragon fruit. Well, my brother noticed that they had some at Walmart the one day, so he goes, you know what? Fuck it. We're both curious. We're going to try it. So we cut it open and we start trying to eat it. I don't know if it just wasn't ripe enough or if it's because it was the actual fruit versus a flavor profile, but it was actually kind of disgusting, which is weird because then I pop in a pouch. I'm like, this is what I would think it tastes like. And then you get one that's supposedly delicious. My dad loved them. We tried papaya. To me, that's almost like eating a fucking muskmelon. Just like you get mangoes. Unless I'm just not getting the right ones or they're not ripe enough, I've had like mango smoothies with the mango extract or actual like chunks of pine or mango cut up and stuff before, and it don't taste that bad. So I said, well, I enjoyed it before. I grabbed a couple of mangoes from the store, brought them home, tried to eat them. Not only was it super tough, it didn't taste right. So maybe it was just not ripe enough. Then there's as far as fruit goes, you got those fruit cocktails that comes in the can. I know it's kind of like slop, but that at least made me enjoy most fruits. Like when it comes to ordering milkshakes, the maraschino cherries are way too fucking sweet for me. If I do eat one, it's got to be like one. But yet when I would get those fruit cocktails from lunch, that would be one of the first thing I eat. It just tasted so good. Then I tried buying an actual bag of regular cherries, minus the pit in the fucking middle, kind of like a plum. It actually tasted so much better to the point where I should have bought the fucking seedless, but I was actually taking some frozen or fresh fruit. It was like a 2 or 3 ingredient smoothie, so that way you don't have to go above and beyond where you get the yogurt, the milk, the fruit, and all the other additives. All you would have to do is, I don't remember the portions, but it's like a couple of scoops of fruit, like a half cup or a cup of milk or whatever. But since it's not lactose intolerance, I think it's slightly an allergy to some or at least most dairy or excessive amounts. I use like almond milk or something, but you throw some milk in there with the fruit, and then you blend it up until it's all to the consistency you want, and delicious. You don't even need to add yogurt, even though it add that little bit of tang in there. And I used to do that for quite some time. The mistake with the cherries is since they still had the pits in them, it was a little grainy, and it took longer to blend up because all you can hear is the blades hitting the fucking pits in the middle. But it made for a good smoothie in the end. But then there's some foods that I just refuse to try no matter what. You got, like, I've tried calamari once, but I'll never eat it again. It's just fucking disgusting. I don't care if people go, oh, it just got to be cooked right. It's not a flavor problem, it's a texture problem. Because I had at one of the restaurants here, it's in a hibachi type grill, they cooked some calamari for one person, and they go, you want to try some? So I go, sure. Threw me a piece. This is one of the smaller ones, so it got cooked a little bit longer to where it was crunchy and just tender enough on the inside. Plus, with the juices from everything else that was mixed on the grill, it didn't taste too bad. So I go, okay, I'm going to order some for myself. So I ordered some calamari. Good thing it was a small portion because except for the really tiny parts that were almost fucking burnt, they all tasted like eating rubber mixed with fucking snot. It was just very disgusting. Just like, it wasn't me personally, but I've had family members try shark steaks and eel. Some people say they're delicious. A lot of the times, including my mom, they're very, very greasy or slimy and very, very fishy in the flavor profile. Kind of like eating smelt. And then one that I've been curious about, but I will never do just based off of the fact that after finding out what it is, it doesn't even sound fucking appetizing to me anymore. Creme brulee to fucking fish eggs. Absolutely not. If I want to eat eggs, I'll stick with the ones that came from birds. At least I know that when I cook those, they turn out good. That shit, it's like eating river boba. Even boba tastes weird to me. Like, the drinks themselves are fine, but the boba balls, they're supposed to be good. Every drink I've had with those little bobas in there, I don't know if they just use the wrong ones or if I'm getting the wrong fucking drink, but they don't taste like how they claim they do on the fucking videos. Oh, they're supposed to be really soft and they're supposed to be sweet and good, kind of like eating little gobs of yogurt. No, it feels like you're biting into a grape mixed with a fucking bouncy ball, and then it's got its own little weird taste because it soaked up a little bit of the drink and then whatever the hell it's actually made out of. Like, I don't mind the boba drinks, but I refuse to eat the fucking boba balls. But then you think about it, and between trying to experiment with different foods, whether it be at a restaurant or just buying from a store, one thing that always kind of helps out as far as at least an idea of flavors to try for different foods, or maybe something that they came up with that you might want to try at home, is kind of like, if you can see it down here, you go to the store and they might, or a gas station, they might have samples of food to try, whether it be little yogurt cups, pizza bites, burger pieces, all sorts of it, depending on what store you go to. I've had some really shitty samples. I've had some really bad samples. And you can almost never walk past them and hear them go, "You want a free sample?" and pass it up. Because, especially if you're just a little hungry, depending on what it is, free food is still free food, regardless of how small it is. Especially since the few that I've been lucky enough to get a hold of, they have it where you're supposed to have one sample a person. We haven't been giving out too many samples because most people say no because they're just not interested. But you can have a few if you want, just to get rid of this tray so I can bring out another one. So you say fuck it, and you just kind of like at a fancy party, you load up your little plate or whatever they give you, and just. That's when I learned how much I actually enjoy, like, pigs in a blanket, or those I think they call them the Midwest sushi rolls or whatever the fuck, or not sushi roll, pig in a blanket, where it's like a pickle with cream cheese and shit. All those are so fucking good. Pigs in a blanket are another favorite of mine. But then you also get the really shitty ones, like, you can tell just by the looks of it, like they give you the little sample pieces of pizza where it looks like it's for a play set, but it's the thinnest shit, and it's dry as fuck because there's like almost no sauce, and it looks burnt. And they're like, "Oh, it's really good. You should try it." It's like, you can throw that in the trash. That to me is inedible, even for like a Lunchable, because even though they were slightly shitty, Lunchables to me were the bomb. Even with the pizza one, because you could make it yourself, and it was cheap, yeah, but those pizzas, they just tasted so nice. That was probably one of my favorite Lunchables. I mean, you can't go wrong with the ham, cheese, and crackers, but the pizza ones were my favorite. Now, the ones that were kind of on the shitty side, especially the meat, because it came out like a tube of chewed up cat food, is the taco ones. I don't know what the hell it was, but that sure as fuck was not meat. No. And then they give you one little packet for like four. They don't even give you taco shells. They gave you pita shells. So you go to try to fold it like a taco, and the bitch breaks. It's like, do you see a little hot plate for me to warm the bitch up so it's actually foldable? No. Then between getting samples, learning what you like and what you don't like through time, you start experimenting. Like, there was one time I was making eggs because that's pretty much all I had for breakfast at the time. And my ex was in the living room along with, I think, one of my kids or something. And I'm cooking eggs because they already ate. I woke up late. I had a long day the day before. And I started going, you know what? What happens if I add this spice? What this spice? I definitely went overboard. It still tasted decent, but I could have went without half of those. I put so many different ingredients. I had like minced garlic, minced onion. I had oregano, paprika. I know it's already starting to sound gross. Salt, pepper, and a bunch of other shit. And when you look at the egg, you got the white, the yellow from where I popped the yolk, because I don't like the runny eggs most of the time. And then just this assortment of fucking colors all over the place. So I tried to mix it up so it's not concentrated. and I cook it, and it's starting to smell nice, but again, there's too many seasonings. Then my ex comes in and goes, "You making pizza?" "No, why?" "'Cause it smells like a pizza." And then I step outside the house after taking the dog out to the bathroom, and I walk in, I go, "That does smell like pizza." And then I ate it. And then after that, oh, by the way, it tastes even better when you get, like, say, the sandwich eggs or something like that, where you season it with, like, say, a little bit of minced garlic or something like that on either an everything or an onion bagel. Those are fucking fantastic. But I also have this one coworker that, well, a couple of them actually, from time to time when they don't want something from their lunchbox, or they like the one, he has a family member that also works at where I am, that sometimes he'll bring lunch with him to try to like eat up his leftovers, but his relative will go, "You know what? I'm buying lunch. Come up with me." So he'll give me his food sometimes, provided I want it. Well, this time he gave me some of his sloppy joes, and prior to that, when I was experimenting, I earlier this week I did something like for the first time ever. That it turned out fantastic. I took eggs and I put some almond milk in there, scrambled them up with some salt, some pepper, some butter, obviously, and maybe a little bit of minced garlic. Then on top of that, when I brought it up to that coworker before I ended up making them, he thought I was going to be making chicken quesadillas, which actually sounds really good. But I took 2 chicken breasts, thawed them out, cut them into cubes, and then I cooked those by themselves in some butter, some pepper, a little bit of the minced garlic, and then after it was all said and done, I put the eggs in with it, mix it all together, and I've had the frozen ones and shit like that before, or like the ones at the restaurants aren't too bad either as far as the honking big old bitches, but uh, the breakfast burritos, I was like, you know what, I want chicken breakfast burritos. So I made the chicken, cooked the eggs in them, and it turned out amazing. And they're about the size of the frozen packs that you get at the store. They're actually really fucking plump too, and a lot more filling than you would think, because they would sell you the frozen ones and they're, I don't know, like just flat little shits. Mine were about that thick around, about the same length though, with the 10-inch shell. And I brought the rest of those in with me to work, and in total I think I got like 7 burritos out of the thing. So I go to work with my leftovers, and he offers me his sloppy joes that he had. So I go, oh fuck, probably ain't gonna be able to finish all this. So I eat what I can. I use some of the shit to eat, and then he also gave me the bread that he brought with, which was like about 2 sandwiches worth. So I ate some of that, and then I brought it home, and I took what was left of the eggs, and I know it sounds gross, but I added it to the the manwich and mixed it all together. And between using up the last of my tortillas and also some bread to make some sandwiches, it actually turned out a little nice. I just had to add a little bit of barbecue sauce because it kind of dried out after sitting for so long. And one of the things I also made with the breakfast burritos that made it taste that much better is after you lay it in the burrito shell, I sprinkled some pepper jack cheese in there while I was cooking the eggs, but I sprinkled just a little bit more pepper jack on top before I actually folded it up, and that just made it taste that much more like, it was so fucking good. And surprisingly enough, even though I didn't use an excessive amount to begin with, that cheese didn't start to mess with me like most cheeses seem to do, unless they're like fancy cheeses. I've had people try to get me to try some foods over the years, like me personally, I've had them. I just don't care for the flavor, but like the cheese filled with, or the hot dogs filled with cheese or stuff like that, or like say the brats filled with cheese. It doesn't taste right to me. Other people, oh, it's so good. It gives you like the best of both worlds because cheese stuffed shit like cheese stuffed crust, cheese stuffed hot dogs, brats, all sorts of shit. It's like, regardless of the fact that I can't eat most like mass produced cheese, I can eat some of the fancy ones for some reason. That one don't affect me. But those ones, it doesn't taste right, especially when it oozes out of the hot dog or whatever. It just, I don't know if it's the type of cheese they're using or the fact that they are the way they are. It doesn't taste right to me. Even smothering it with condiments or like onions, or if it's your deal, relish. It's not that I don't like relish. It's too overpowering unless you do it in moderation. But one, I can't fucking stand. I have at least two family members that I know of, maybe three, that love it. Horseradish, fuck no. And another one that they've tried getting me to try over the years, it just doesn't taste good. But I have some people I know that seem to think otherwise. Cranberry sauce. It's a little bit of the texture, but it's a lot to do with the fucking flavor, let alone the smell. It just stinks. It doesn't taste good. It reminds me of a weird Jello in a way. I rather have actual fucking Jello because at least that tastes good. And they keep acting like they magically forget that I don't like it, even though I've said it at every family function that they bring it to since I was little. If it hasn't changed in 28 years, then what makes you think that I would fucking like it now, let alone, oh, I didn't remember? The hell you don't. I bitch about it every year. If I don't like it, I don't like it, so don't try to make me eat it. Back to the whole having foods that you didn't like back then. I used to hate most salad dressings. I also used to hate eating some of the pasta salads out there. Like most of the staples of America, if you want to put it that way. Like potato salad, macaroni salad. There's so many different ones out there. Like with the Italian dressing, the balsamic vinaigrette. I still don't like that dressing. That one tastes funky to me. I had it once on a salad, and I'm like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But I always used to fucking hate ranch. Now, I'm not one of those people that puts it on fucking everything, but ranch is awesome. And the one thing that actually surprised the shit out of me was like potato salad. Most people are like, ugh, it's got eggs in it. Ugh, if you buy the store-bought, it's got like celery and shit in it. That's actually like one of the best ones to eat now. I used to absolutely hate any form of salad that they would try to put on my plate. And of course you get the whole, you better at least try a fucking bite. You don't know if you like it if you don't try it. It's like, I can already tell you right now I'm not going to like it. And then, what? Anywhere from a couple to like 10 years down the line, that's one of your favorites. Another one was, like I was saying before, the noodle salads. All the different ones out there. Like, most recently, we had a birthday party for my niece. She just turned 2. My brother's wife made a pasta salad. I used to fucking hate growing up. I don't remember what kind of dressing or anything was on it, but the smell, the flavor. It didn't go together. For me, it's like my nose was sensitive and my taste buds were like, this is gross. I'd rather eat dog shit. And now I went to go get my plate ready. I put like half the plate was the noodle salad. After it was all said and done, I go, oh, I'm bloated. I went back and finished off that fucking salad, which was almost like the other half of the fucking plate. So, you learn things you like, you learn things you hate. Some things never change, but some things change for the better. It all depends on your preference, your taste buds, and more or less your experiences, because you never know what life's going to bring you, whether it be food, stress, happiness, anger, you name it. But I just love that as time goes by, you slightly consider yourself more a foodie, because you're starting to appreciate all these different kinds of foods now, and you're willing to try so much more than you used to. So that way, when it comes to grocery shopping, you're not getting the same 5 fucking items every time. Oh, let's get hot dogs, mac and cheese, ramen noodles. There's nothing wrong with those, by the way. Now you get things like, okay, we might get some corn dogs, we might get some ramen, but let's get some eggs to put in the ramen. Let's go get some like chicken breasts so we can either cook them as is, or say like I did with the breakfast burritos, or make something else out of them. There's just so many different things you can do with food nowadays, and I'm actually really excited to try more once I finally get the chance to go to another meat market again. My brother showed me one, but I was only there briefly. I want to go back there at some point because they have really fucking good bacon, let alone other stuff there. And then like as far as varieties, you got some of the basic items at every store, but like the one in town that probably has the most, Woodman's. There's no telling what you could make from there, and you never know what you're going to like. But if you have any like foods that you hated or that you liked and now you changed, or if there's anything that you think I should try, just let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please leave a follow. If you're watching this on my YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'd like to thank my friends, my family, and everybody who's given me ideas or gotten me to go out of my comfort zone to try some of these newer foods. And also just the people pushing samples or whatever else to actually get you like, you know what? Let's not do the bland today. Let's try something that'll actually taste good. And I'd also like to thank all you people for watching my videos, and hopefully in the future we can come up with some other like food topics and other things that you're interested in, whether it be shitty experiences at stores, your funny cookout stories, you name it. I'd also like to give a shout out to my brothers for helping me explore some more of the food options, because my mom and dad helped me along the way as far as cooking foods or trying things, or like with my dad being from Croatia, having some of the international type of foods aside from what we already have here, and just like giving you a new flavor profile, but also something to think about when you're making a food that you could also do yourself. So that's all for this week's video, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.